Munich last season as well, once they got to the knockout stages. But once again, the famous old music is ringing around this stadium. Flares being let off in the one end of the ground. You can hear a few fireworks in the Saint-Denis area. And we are prepared for this crucial Group F encounter. We'll keep you in touch with how Newcastle are getting on against Borussia Dortmund at what should be an absolutely raucous St James's Park. Adrian Durham will be there for Talksport. Regular updates on that game over on Talksport from Steve Harmison. But our concentration here on Talksport 2 tonight is Paris Saint-Germain against AC Milan. Let me run you through the teams. For PSG, Gianluigi Donnarumma in goal, former Milan keeper. In front of him, a back four of Achraf Hakimi, Marquinhos, Milan Skriniar and Lucas Hernandez. Warren Zaïre-Emery, Manuel Ugarte and Vitinha make up a midfield three for the Parisians. And a really terrific front three, Ousmane Dembele, Randal Kolo Muani and Kylian Mbappe. As for AC Milan, they also go with a 4-3-3 formation. Mike Maignan is the goalkeeper, former Paris Saint-Germain youth player, but never made an appearance for the senior side. Pierre Kalulu, Malik Thiaw, Fikayo Tomori and Theo Hernandez in their back four. Yunus Musa, Rade Krunic and Tijani Reinders are the midfield three for the Milanese. Their front three, Christian Pulisic, Olivier Giroud and Rafael Leao. Handshakes all around. And a big night for Gianluigi Donnarumma. Danny Mills, the goalkeeper for Paris Saint-Germain, over 250 appearances. Joined AC Milan as a boy, knew nothing but AC Milan until his move last summer to Paris. He says he's learning the language a bit more, and he felt a bit lonely at first, but he's been, well, he's, of course, Italy's #1 choice as well. He's a fantastic goalkeeper.
Yeah, tough move that, isn't it? Let's go from Milan to Paris. Yeah, really devastating. I can imagine getting really lonely and homesick, you know. It's a tough move, that, isn't it? Yeah, he's not
all right.
he's a fabulous goalkeeper. We know it. But again, can this collection of fabulous players become a team and go on and do something serious in this competition? That's the question. There's no question their individual ability, but can they play as a team when it really matters?
And Rafael Leao could well be a match winner for AC Milan. We've talked many times about the abilities of a Kylian Mbappe, but Rafael Leao could easily start for the Milanese tonight. Ready for the off, the Slovenian referee blows the whistle, and we're underway on Talksport 2. Paris Saint-Germain in their traditional dark blue strip with a red stripe vertically down the shirt, kicking from right to left as we look, and AC Milan are all in white. And in the Championship, an early goal, Birmingham City 0, Hull City 1. Liam Delap for Hull as Liam Rossigna takes on the man who we worked with at Derby County, Wayne Rooney. So early pressure on Wayne Rooney in his first home game as the new Birmingham City manager. Paris Saint-Germain had the ball on halfway with Warren Zaïre-Emery, gives it to this young Uruguayan Manuel Ugarte, and it's out on the left-hand side with Vitinha. Back in field for Zaïre-Emery, and Paris Saint-Germain just knocking the ball about, just shy of the halfway line. Marquinhos has to turn it back to Donnarumma, almost waited for Pulisic to close him down and then released it downfield. Hakimi, and then it's sent across to Vitinha, who can scamper into the AC Milan half, inside left channel, and Mbappe now picks it up on the left wing, faced up by Pierre Kalulu, who's won it back for AC Milan. It's knocked down the line, and then there's a foul on Christian Pulisic inside his own half, and Milan get a free kick. 0-0 with a minute gone on Talksport 2.
What I've noticed already, at the back, PSG are almost going man for man. When you look at it, the way they're quite happy to attack, they're almost leaving 3 at the back against Leao, Giroud and Pulisic. Brave or dangerous? We'll have to wait and see. I would say a touch dangerous.
Ball's back with Mike Maignan, the AC Milan goalkeeper. Kalulu slides it down the line up towards halfway, tucked back in field by Tijani Reinders, and then worked all the way across to the left-hand side for one of the Hernandez out there, Theo Hernandez, up to halfway, tries to collect the ball on the run, but Paris win it back. It's on the halfway line. Ugarte calling for it and gets it at the edge of the centre circle, just knocks it out to the right-hand side for Achraf Hakimi. Now Dembele, chance to run for the first time this evening. And the fullback puts a cross in, it's only just kept away from Kolo Muani in front of goal. Good defending by Malik Thiaw, but Paris Saint-Germain win it back. It's up to the edge of the area. And it's Randall Kolo Muani again trying to cross the ball in from the left-hand side. Milan to get it half clear. Hooked back towards the edge of the area by Lucas Hernandez, but it's cleared away by Milan to the halfway line. 0-0, 3 minutes gone. Danny Mills.
PSG passing the ball around very well at the moment. For the first time for a long time, and I'm guessing this is Luis Enrique's influence, they're starting to look like a team that want to play in a certain way. Before it was just a case of, well, you know what, just go and play, lads. Go and make it up as you go along. You know, because you're so talented. We don't really need tactics too much, but at the moment it looks like they are. It's pass and move, get into pockets.
Well, Malik Thiaw was sent off at the weekend for AC Milan in their defeat to Juve. He's just had a yellow card very early in the piece because he hauled down Ousmane Dembele, who rolled him on the halfway line out the far touch line, went down as Thiaw grabbed a chunk of his shirt. Yellow card for the AC Milan centre-half, and he shakes his head ruefully as he walks away back to his mark. What they should do now is just isolate him and go, every time they get the ball, run at him. It's only going to take a tiny little shirt, pull a little trip, anything, and unfortunately he'll get sent off. So if PSG are clever now, they will keep feeding Dembele, keep giving him the ball. If Mbappe goes on that side, keep giving him the ball and just keep running at him, causing problems. We talked about it earlier, didn't we, with Stuart Pearce? Yeah.
How hard it is for a fullback.
Lovely turn from Warren Zaire-Emery on halfway for Paris Saint-Germain. Works it out to Dembele on the right. Gets to the right-hand corner of the box, checks in on his left foot. Tries to lay it off to Ugarte, who pirouettes neatly and kept the play alive for Paris Saint-Germain. Zaire-Emery runs into trouble, but they've kept possession, have the hosts. And it's worked back to Lucas Hernandez, who's on the opposite side of the field to his kid brother. Bristol City 0, Ipswich Town 1 in the Championship. Nathan Broadhead puts Ipswich ahead, starting the night 8 points behind Leicester, who you heard winning against Sunderland by goals to nil last night here on Talksport 2. And Celtic lead Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. Kyogo, the Japanese international, with a goal inside 5 minutes at Parkhead. Great start for Celtic in a game they really have to win. 0-0 at the Parc des Princes. 5 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Pierre Kalulu for AC Milan rolls the ball up to Pulisic on the halfway line, tight to the touchline. Down goes the AC Milan midfielder. It was Musa who was making tracks, the American. He was brought down, and it'd be a free kick to AC Milan.
How's that not a booking?
Well, that's true.
When you book Thiaw for something very, very similar, and this is what I think frustrates players, managers, fans, the levels of consistency. Musa's passed it.
Now there's another potential yellow card here, as Ugarte was brought down on halfway as they dispossessed, and it was Rade Krinic that gets the yellow card.
That's nowhere near as bad as the one we've just seen on Musa, is it?
No.
We've just seen it in slow motion on the monitor. And he just about nicks the ball, kicks the player at the same time, almost sort of stubs his toe. And Krinic gets a yellow card for it. I think that's very, very harsh.
So 2 quick yellow cards for Stefano Pioli to consider, the AC Milan boss, with Kredic joining Thiaw in the referee's notebook. Zaire Emery, he almost loses out to Giroud, and then he fouls Giroud, does he? He has been given as a free kick by the referee as he left his footing on Olivier Giroud, who has to look up at the referee as if to say, are you going to? But he isn't, it's just a free kick.
But again, it's a tackle from behind. He gets nowhere near the ball. I don't understand referees sometimes. The first two, they probably weren't necessarily yellow cards. And you wonder why players, fans get frustrated saying, oh, the referee's favouring the home team. Because in 4 decisions, they're all very, very similar. He's put 2 Milan players and let the 2 PSG players get away with it.
I might give him the benefit of the doubt for the Thiaw yellow card, because Dembele could have been away and cleared down the right-hand side.
But so could Musa could have been as well.
Yeah. Free kick to AC Milan then, midway point of the Paris Saint-Germain half as we approach the 8-minute mark. To the right of centre, it's teased into the box by Pulisic. Up to the far post, Rafael Leao tries to head it across the face of goal, but Ugarte tidies up and Achraf Hakimi brings it away for PSG. No goals at St James's Park or in Switzerland, where young boys are playing Manchester City live on Talksport right now. 0-0 between Paris Saint-Germain and AC Milan, but Celtic 1-0 up on Atletico Madrid. Now Manuel Ugarte on the halfway line for PSG, leaves it for his captain Marquinhos. Ugarte again teases it out to the right flank for Hakimi, and then it's worked back for Milan Skriniar, who came on a free from AC Milan's city rivals Inter. Spent 6 years in Milan and made the best part of 250 appearances for Inter. Little wall pass from Vitinha trying to get Colomboani away, but AC Milan win possession back, and it's with Theo Hernandez. Rafael Leao is fouled. He just went over the foot of Ugarte, just shy of the halfway line. Free kick to AC Milan, just shy of the halfway line. No Champions League goals yet this season for the Milanese. The 0-0 draw in the San Siro against Newcastle, followed by the 0-0 in Dortmund. Now here's Musa, looking to send the ball out to Christian Pulisic, just inside the area, right-hand side for Milan, lobs the ball to the far post, and Hakimi has to chest the ball behind for a corner kick, not knowing what was behind him. Corner kick to Milan, 0-0.
I think Pulisic did really well there. He was dangerous, he was one-on-one, he got himself half a yard, and he just clipped it into the sort of just inside the 6-yard box. Hakimi at the far post wasn't quite sure what was happening and was fortunate enough to just chest it behind for a corner, but now they've got to defend this.
Theo Hernandez with this corner kick, left-footed outswinger to come for Milan. Right on top of the keeper, it's flicked away by Marquinhos. Dashing out to the right-hand side, it's retrieved by Pulisic, who goes on the outside of his man, gets to the byline, and then in slides Vitinha, puts it behind for another corner to AC Milan, away to our right. 0-0 the score.
Well, it looks like Pulisic could be really a problem for PSG down their left-hand side. He's picking the ball up, he's running at people, he looks bright, he looks confident.
Packed penalty area, but the referee just wants to word with a couple of players. They're all massed around the penalty spot, aren't they, Danny?
Yes, seen it so many times, haven't we? They just get in one big group. Because in this day and age, you can't get hold of people, you can't hold shirts, you can't really block, as you're a defender, you can't block people.
Pulisic will take the corner kick into the near post, and it's fired wide by Rafael Leao, who tried to wrap his right foot round it, one off the training ground, attempted by Milan, but it didn't come off.
It's claiming a corner. Not quite sure if the referee's going to give it or not. Doesn't look like it hits anything. Oh, it does.
It came off a Paris Saint-Germain player, but a goal kick was given.
It was going about 5 yards wide anyhow. It was a high nutmeg.
I think it came off at Muani. Here's Vitinha for PSG, inside his own half. Out to the near touchline, and Mbappe, just shy of the halfway line, skips inside Kalulu, but then Milan win it back, and that's another foul. And a chance for Milan to get the ball further down the field. So we played 12 minutes on Talksport 2. And it's Paris Saint-Germain 0, AC Milan 0. Ian Danter and Danny Mills with you on this Wednesday evening in the Champions League, with Newcastle and Dortmund also at 0-0. Celtic 1-0 up on Atletico Madrid. And Manchester City over on Talksport. They're goalless in Switzerland against Young Boys.
It's a fast start from PSG, but AC Milan just starting to come back into it now. Starting to grow in confidence a little bit.
Magnon's long clearance downfield from the AC Milan penalty area. Only half cleared. Tomori feeds it forward, and it's coming forward. A chance for Pulisic in the area, right-hand side, tries to pull it across. Donnarumma came out to block, and it went behind for a corner kick. Reinders slipped the ball down the right-hand side of the box, and Pulisic, who's been very lively in these early stages, actually it might be a goal kick. It looked like it came off the backside of Pulisic on its way out, and indeed it did. 0-0 it stays, 13 gone.
Well, that's 3 times now, isn't it? Pulisic has got it.
They're giving it away again. Krunic coming forward, trying to slide it across to Rafael Leao on the left-hand side, but intercepted by PSG, who bring it clear with Hakimi.
I think you talked about at the top of the show before the game, Dance, that PSG's defending is at times terrible. They're all over the place, completely disorganised. There's no line at the back. It's just everyone's just scattered.
Well, I feel a little for somebody like Marquinhos, who's, you know, a terrific international player, but there does appear to be a little bit of a porous nature to the Parisian back line. But can AC Milan exploit it?
Skriniar's a very good player.
Yes.
You know, Hernandez is, Hakimi is. There's no reason why they should be as poor and as all over the place defending. That's just down to self-discipline.
Leipzig 1, Red Star 0 in Manchester City's group. David Raum for Leipzig. Now, Paris Saint-Germain lobbed the ball into the area. Dembele just couldn't bring it down, and it rolls through to Magnon. And AC Milan can clear the ball downfield. It's rolled out overarm to Pierre Kalulu in the right-back position. He thumps it right-footed over the head of Pulisic, and it's tidied up by Lucas Hernandez and given back to his keeper Donnarumma. The second youngest goalkeeper in Serie A history when he made his debut for AC Milan. Free transfer to PSG in 2021. Be desperate to keep a clean sheet tonight.
Who was the youngest, Dan?
I'm afraid I don't have that information to hand. I'm not. I don't think his D goes off.
I wasn't deliberately trying to throw you under the bus there.
Here's Rafael Leao down the left-hand side, cross into the box. It's too deep for 3 AC Milan players that will wait for the cross, and instead it's collected by Pierre Kalulu, who works it back to Fikayo Tomori, who played for England against Australia in that recent double-header and appears to be a real fixture in this AC Milan defensive backline.
Yeah, he's done well to a point. I think in some of the big games last season was found wanting on a couple of occasions, and I think Gareth will have looked at that and thought, can I really trust him?
Ball out to the right-hand side. PSG 0, Milan 0. Quarter of an hour gone. Good work from Musa to win it back. Rafael Leao up to the edge of the area. He's clipped right at the edge of the box, and a yellow card finally goes to a Parisian player for the foul by Hakimi on Rafael Leao. But what that means is that AC Milan now have a free kick right on the edge of the area to the left of centre. Real dangerous position for the visitors. 0-0.
Well, we talked about Rafael Leao and Pulisic at the beginning, saying they could be the danger men, and that's what's been the problem so far for PSG. And what I like about it, they pick the ball up, and their first thought is, can I drive forward? Can I take the player on? Can I cause my defender a problem? And that's exactly what they're doing. This is a great distance. It's level with a D, probably 10 yards off centre. Perfect angle for the right footer. Can go either up and over the wall, he's got distance to get it up and down, or can smash it into the far corner.
Well, Olivier Giroud is standing right over the football. He's got a couple of teammates with him.
Don't remember him taking too many free kicks, if I'm honest.
No. He's also got a couple of his teammates for company. Maybe.
Have you ever seen him take a free kick?
I can't remember him taking one.
Certainly not spectacular. I think he might be the conductor here rather than anything else.
And where's he going to play it? Musa's there just next to him, so too.
Now, it looks like there's going to be a clever little move off the training ground where the ball might be shifted to one side or the other.
It's taken over the wall and flicked up and over and out for a corner kick to AC Milan. Just the attempt from Fikayo Tomori, right-footed, but it caught the top of the head of the defender and went out for a corner kick. 0-0 it stays.
Don't see him as a free kick specialist either.
No. So he clearly fancied himself there, Fikayo Tomori. Hernandez will take the corner kick, left-footed in-swinger. Headed up and out by Colomuani, but AC Milan should win it back down the left-hand side. They do, but dawdle on the ball a little bit. But Giroud puts pressure on Marquinhos and gives away a free kick by bringing the Brazilian centre-half down, but they both exchange a smile. Giroud helps Marquinhos to his feet, and it's a free kick, Paris Saint-Germain.
I often think with those sort of free kicks, unless you've got an absolute specialist who you know can get it over the wall, on target, Ward-Prowse style, 8 times out of 10, just drive it towards the far post. Goalkeeper's not going to catch it. It might fly in, but hit the target with pace, you'll get the rebound, or you'll cause absolute havoc in the penalty area, rather than hit the wall, which is a complete waste.
That's Danny Mills alongside me, Ian Danta. Danny, former Champions League semi-finalist, with us on Talksport 2. Paris Saint-Germain win the ball back high up the field, but Dembele's going to have to go like an express train to keep that in. And it's gone out of play on the far right-hand side for a goal kick. With 19 minutes gone, it's 0-0. And I have to admit, Danny Mills, that the pattern of this game is not playing out the way I expected it. We were expecting PSG to have the ball for long spells in Milan to counter.
First three minutes was,
yeah.
But now I think AC Milan have really come into it, haven't they? I think you have to say they're almost dominating at the moment.
And PSG are giving the ball up in some silly areas too to contribute to that territorial strength that AC Milan have had. Dembele comes back into his own half to toe-poke the ball back to Marquinhos. Skriniar back to Donnarumma in goal, wearing all green for Paris Saint-Germain tonight. Given the ball back by Marquinhos, plays it out to Hakimi, couldn't keep it in play. That's because of the high press from AC Milan that forced a hasty clearance from Donnarumma.
And this is what I talk about when PSG aren't used to this. When teams try and press them in the French league, they can play around them. It's not a problem. They don't have the intensity, the fitness, even the ability when they get the ball as the opposition. But when you step into the Champions League, you're talking about top-level players that you're playing against that are more experienced, are technically better, are fitter. And I sometimes think in the Champions League, PSG are undercooked.
PSG 0, Milan 0 on Talksport 2 in the Champions League with 20 minutes gone in the Parc des Princes. Here is Lucas Hernandez, the older brother of the two who are out there tonight. Theo is 26, Lucas is 27. Now Mbappe, haven't seen much of him so far. Down the left-hand side of the area, jinks inside, plays it out to the right-hand corner of the box. Hakimi has got a few goals under his belt this season, steaming forward. Now Dembele tries to play it across the box. It's only half cleared by Milan. Mbappe has it again at the edge of the D. Goes for goal with a snapshot. And it was straight at Magnon, who held it well. 0-0.
Simple save in the end. Mbappe finds a half a yard on the edge of the box.
Barely any backlift.
Yeah, his touch. I don't think he was going to take the shot on originally, but also then the defence just backed off a little bit. There was a little bit of a gap, and he almost had to jump in the air to try and get some sort of power behind it, but never enough to beat the goalkeeper.
Falls back in the defensive third of Paris Saint-Germain. Skriniar under pressure from Giroud. Rolls it back to Donnarumma. Marquinhos at the right-hand edge of the area. finds Hakimi with the pass along the deck. And this time, Paris Saint-Germain do clear. Ball over the top, asking Dembele to give chase. But was that a foul on Thiaw? Was he pushed over there? It was Hernandez, in actual fact, who was giving chase, and Hernandez got pushed.
Did he clip his heel?
By Dembele.
Yes,
just
there
a
it
little
is.
bit,
Yeah. Running at full pelt, you get your heel tapped. It's very, very difficult sometimes to stay up.
So free kick for AC Milan in their left-back position as we reach the midway point of the first half on Talksport 2, 0-0. Preston 0, Southampton 1 in the Championship. 4 unbeaten Southampton, and Kyle Walker-Peters gets the opener for the Saints.
There's a buffoon on the pitch. That's the problem we've got at the moment.
Well, we'll say no more about any idiotic pitch invader. So let me remind you of the scores in Europe and domestically. 0-0 here between Paris Saint-Germain and AC Milan on Talksport 2. Over on Talksport, still 0 between Young Boys and Manchester City. Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce guiding you through that one. Newcastle are still 0-0 with Dortmund at St James Park. And in the Championship, 3 teams are in front away from home. Hull in front at Birmingham, Ipswich in front at Bristol City, Southampton, as you've just heard, in front at Preston. The other games are goals, and Celtic lead Atletico Madrid in the Champions League by an early Kyogo goal to 0. Pitch invader's been frog marched off, and it's a free kick to AC Milan down the left-hand side. It's not kept in play by Rafael Leao. It'll end up being merely a goal kick to PSG. Milan 3 times winners. 1994, 2003. The last time they won it, way back 2007. Long time since they've lifted the old Big Ear trophy. Of course, Paris Saint-Germain have never lifted it. Mbappe plays the ball back to the edge of the centre circle. Ugarte, good ball out to the inside right position. Hakimi and Dembele trying to combine down the right-hand side. Whips in cross from Dembele, and Pierre Kalulu didn't get much of a call from any of his teammates, and the right-back elected to turn it behind for a corner kick to Paris Saint-Germain, their first of the game, 0-0.
Yeah, just a little bit of panic, wasn't there? Didn't quite know where he was, who was around him, maybe couldn't quite hear the call from his teammates. Needs to do a little bit better than that, gave the ball away far too easily.
So Vitinha, who had a loan spell at Wolves not so long back, is about to take this corner for Paris Saint-Germain. Right-footed in-swinger into the near post, headed straight back towards him. He'll pick it up more like level with the edge of the box this time, but his cross back into the box is way over hit, and on one bounce it goes out on the far side for another AC Milan goal kick. Presumably Danny Mills, Stefano Pioli is the happier of the two managers
without
so far.
a doubt. You know, I think they're sticking to their game plan. It's working well at the moment. Mbappe's had snapshot from what, 20 yards out. That's it. PSG haven't caused problems. It's been AC Milan causing
lovely
all the
skill
problems.
down the right-hand side from Olivier Giroud. Now Leao picks it up, left-hand corner of the box, goes for goal, and it only just snakes wide.
Did that hit
the
Giroud on the way
post.
through? Sorry, Dan, I'm sure this hits Giroud on the way through. This might have sneaked in the far post. Giroud didn't know anything about it. I think that might have been the slightest of deflections off him.
Well, he was certainly running across the line of the shot that Rafael Leao took. Now, I don't think it caught him.
I don't know.
Very close. No, I think it avoided him, but just not enough width from Rafael Leao to get inside the post. But Donnarumma was at full stretch and worried it was going to beat him and go inside that post. 0-0.
But it's Leao and Pulisic, they're the ones causing problems, aren't they? Picking the ball up, being direct, running at defenders, committing them. And as we talked about Stuart Pearce before the game, it's very difficult defenders because you can't make too many tackles.
0-0 here. Atletico Madrid equalise in Glasgow. Celtic 1, Atletico Madrid 1. Antoine Griezmann with the equaliser. And here is Ousmane Dembele up against Malik Thiaw, who got booked for a challenge on him early in the piece. Dembele again picks it up inside right channel, midway point of the AC Milan half, but he's lost out, and the Italians have it back. It's with Reinders, who's just clipped by Zaire Emery, midway point of the AC Milan half. Free kick to the visitors. 26 minutes gone. 0-0 on Talksport 2.
Need more from PSG. I think AC Milan will be absolutely delighted the way it's going so far. I know Mbappe's a player with possibly the most ability in the world in terms of pace, his trickery, his skill levels, his finish, his goals, all those. But I do look at the game sometimes and think, need a bit more from him at times. I don't see enough games for a player of his quality that he dictates to the opposition. Yes, we do see the fantastic runs, we do see the goals, but even in the World Cup, I know he ended up scoring a hat-trick.
Some running tests for Radek Krunic, by the way. Meantime, he's gone off with a bloody nose, which is getting sorted out. So,
from Mbappe's ability, I would like to see a little bit more from him and really dictate games. We've seen Messi has that ability to do that.
But then Messi, in his latter career, has been prone to just walking around and occasionally bursting into life.
Yeah, but he still, the positions that he takes up, he still sort of dictates the way that the team plays and dictates how the opposition plays because of that.
Musa with a good turn just shy of the halfway line, sets AC Milan going again. Giroud should pick it up right-hand side before Skriniar does. Holds play up for a moment. The French striker works it in field for Milan, but it's picked off by Zaire Emery, who tries to launch a counter-attack for Paris Saint-Germain. Mbappe to his left, Kolo Muani to his right. Mbappe picks it up, skips in field from the left-hand touchline, then checks, gives it back to Zaire Emery by the left-hand corner of the box. Mbappe once more, 30 yards from goal, quite central now. Elects to lay it off back into square to his captain, Marquinhos. Now it's with Dembele and Ugarte, and they're more patient now, Paris Saint-Germain. The initial impetus of that counter-attack has gone, and they're back on the halfway line. Achraf Hakimi clips the ball in field. Dembele comes in field, runs across the line. Good challenge though by Theo Hernandez, who tracked that run and won the ball back for AC Milan. And it's with Christian Pulisic on this near side. Pulisic looks for the run down this near side of Hernandez, who's continued his run up against his brother down that left-hand side for Paris Saint-Germain, but they've now won it back, the home side, and away comes Randal Kolo Muani looking for Mbappe. Mbappe picks it up, skips past the challenge, drives it goalwards, and it's not far wide from Kylian Mbappe. Really thumped it fearfully. Manuel looked nervously to his left, but it went just the wrong side of the post and bar, and it's a goal kick to AC Milan. 0-0 the score.
Yeah, he was never really set for that shot, cut across it a little bit. PSG a little bit fortunate the way the ball broke for them on that attack. Magnan just having a word with Tomori, saying, look, if that happens, if they do get a bit lucky, you've got to go and close him down quicker.
Celtic are back in front against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. Luis Palma making it Celtic 2, Atletico Madrid 1. In the Champions League this Wednesday evening on Talksport. Manchester City 0-0 against Young Boys. That's live over on Talksport right now. 0-0 at St James Park in this group, where Newcastle and Dortmund are still waiting to break the deadlock. Here comes Musa for AC Milan at 0-0. Tried to get the cross in, but he was just pickpocketed at the end by Vitinha.
Wasn't quite sure what to do, was he? Got into the box, had a little look at it and thought, oh, hesitation. What do I do? What do I do? Too late, lost the ball.
In the Championship, Plymouth Argyle have taken the lead against Sheffield Wednesday. Mustafa Bundu gets the goal for the Pilgrims. Sheffield Wednesday still not won in the Championship. Danny Raw, their new manager, of course, just 34 years of age, I think.
What a decision to get rid of Darren Moore. What a poor decision, I might say.
Well, he's now in charge at Huddersfield Town, Darren Moore. They lost last night, and their next game is live on Talksport 2 on Saturday lunchtime at Leeds United. Another of your old clubs, Danny. A West Yorkshire derby at Ellen Road. That's live on Talksport 2 at 12:30. At the same time as the West Yorkshire derby, we bring in a West London derby on Talksport as part of Game Day, Chelsea against Brentford. Now here's Warren Zaire Emery for Paris Saint-Germain at 0. They're finding Mbappe into the area, gets the shot away, and the inevitable result is Kylian Mbappe, giving Paris Saint-Germain the lead on the half hour. Zaire Emery driving through midfield, found Mbappe. He had the defenders backpedaling, just shifted it slightly to his right and drove it low into the bottom corner. It's Paris Saint-Germain 1, AC Milan 0. Kylian Mbappe, of course.
And that's what he's so great at, those individual moments of absolute brilliance. Again, it picks the ball up in a semi-threatening area. I think, is it Tomori backs off. You can't allow that to happen. You can't allow him to get into the penalty area. You've got to make a decision before he gets into the penalty area. He doesn't, and because of that, then he can't make the challenge. And what Mbappe's brilliant at, the way that he dribbles, he moves the ball. You see a lot of players doing step-overs and throwing their legs around, and the ball never moves. The defender doesn't have to move in that case. What Mbappe does, he shifts the ball from one side to the other very, very quickly. That makes the defender moves. He has the shot. It's not the cleanest of hits, but because he's moved the ball, he's able to hit that ball, then it goes through the defender's legs. Goalkeeper's unsighted. But Tomori, he's got to keep him outside the box. And that's brilliant individual skill from Mbappe, but you know what he wants to do, get into that penalty area. You've got to keep him out of it.
His 42nd Champions League goal, Kylian Mbappe, and it's PSG 1, Milan 0 with 12 minutes to half-time on Talksport 2.
Against the run of play, down to a little bit?
A little. I mean, there have been signs that they were slowly getting more of a grip.
But it's not.
But certainly, it is something of a surprise in the sense that it looked like that back four of Milan had the measure of the front three.
But I was saying
but that's
not
Mbappe.
It's not a team goal, is it?
Well, I'll give Zaire Emery credit because he rode the challenge of Reinders on halfway, who had a couple of nibbles at him and could have lost that. But his instinct, Zaire Emery, once he'd broken through that challenge, OK, where's Kylian Mbappe?
But that's what it's get the ball to Mbappe and let him go and score. It's not really a specific build-up or a style of playing.
Perhaps not, but then when Mbappe's on the field,
yeah, I get that,
you can rely on that.
Well, I'm not sure you can when you get to the latter stage of this competition, and I think that's the problem. They've done that in the past when they've had, Neymar in there, Messi in there, Mbappe in there. It's like, well, we'll just give it to them and they'll do something, and it doesn't always happen. So
they have the lead, PSG, and they're pretty good here. They've lost just one of 34 group stage matches in the past 11 years, winning 27, so it's not quite impregnable at the Parc des Princes, but it's a pretty good record for any side to have in European competition.
There's been some good games in Paris lately, haven't they? Even those with that funny-shaped oval ball.
Well, of course, the Rugby World Cup final at the weekend does not feature England. They're playing in the bronze medal match against Argentina.
What a waste of time that is, by the way.
Well, yeah, might be a few players hang up their boots after that one.
I think they might have hung them up already and just thought, I don't need to play in that.
0-0 between Newcastle and Dortmund, just over 10 minutes to half-time there, but it's 1-0 here with 10 to the break to Paris Saint-Germain through, inevitably, Kylian Mbappe. And Lucas Hernandez feeds the ball down the left-hand side for Vitinha. Sheffield Wednesday are 2 down now at Plymouth. Morgan Whittaker gets a second at Home Park for Plymouth, who've been struggling of late, actually. Plymouth, no win in 4, but they're 2-0 up on the Owls right on half-time. And Ipswich lead Bristol City at half-time. It's 0-0 at half-time at the New York Stadium between Rotherham United and Coventry City. And Hull City going 1-0 up at the break at Birmingham. Ball's out of play for a Paris Saint-Germain throw down the right-hand side with 9 minutes to half-time. Got live Europa League football for you tomorrow, tea time here on Talksport 2. Olympiacos against West Ham. Alex Crook, your commentator. That's a 5:45 kickoff. And then a choice of listing on Friday night. Palace Spurs in the Premier League, exclusive to Talksport at 8. And the Women's Nation League, England-Belgium, 7:45 on Talksport 2 is your choice of listening on Friday. Just seeing a replay again of the opening goal and Zaire Emery's desire to keep the ball and win the ball from Reinders. And then, as Danny Mills has rightly said, it was the the backpedaling somewhat of Fikayo Tomori.
He's got two players around him. He's got somebody inside him. He's got a defender outside of him. Go and engage Mbappe further up the pitch, because once you let him get into that penalty area, he's in shooting distance. You can't touch him, because you know he's going to jink left. You know he's going to jink right. You touch him, he goes down, it's a penalty. Simple as that. You've got to go up to him and be brave.
Here come AC Milan, trying to respond down the left-hand side. Hernandez puts the ball into the area. It's only half cleared by Skriniar, but he's helped out by Zaire Emery, who darts onto the loose ball and finds Vitinha. Chance for him to come forward. Mbappe calling for it just inside the Milan half. Vitinha gets it back. Mbappe's gone again through the inside left channel, but it's been slowed down by Vitinha and Zaire Emery. Now Ugarte finds Hakimi out to Dembele on the right-hand side. Koulibaly at the edge of the area, prowling around, but not being utilised. Antwerp lead Porto in the Champions League by a 1-0. Al Hassan Yusuf for the Belgian side. Meanwhile, back here at the Parc des Princes, Lucas Hernandez for Paris Saint-Germain. Diagonal crossfield ball from left to right, looking to pick out Dembele. Tomori comes across and puts it out for a throw. Southampton lead Preston at half-time at Deepdale in the Championship, and Plymouth do indeed go 2 goals in front at the break against Sheffield Wednesday. Keep you updated with second half goals in all those Championship matches tonight.
It's a long journey back, isn't it?
For Sheffield Wednesday fans. Well, yes, it's a lovely ground to go and visit, Home Park, but not when you're 2-0 down at half-time, I fancy. Sheffield Wednesday, 3 draws and 9 defeats so far on their return to the Championship. AC Milan have a throw in their right-back position. Pierre Kalulu is going to take it, former Lyon Academy player. And he's under pressure from Vitinha, but screws the ball up to the halfway line, but it won't find Pulisic. Very easy for Lucas Hernandez to tidy up and give back to Donnarumma.
Goal has just rocked AC Milan a little bit, isn't it? They're just a little bit on the back foot all of a sudden.
Although the high press is now back in evidence as the ball's back with Donnarumma. And again, he floats it out to the right-hand side looking for Hakimi, but that's done better that time. It's ball up to halfway.
Why would you not stop that? It infuriates me so much. You see the ball go back to the goalkeeper. He opens his body out. You can tell 10 seconds before he gets it, he's going to ping it out to the fullback. The opposite winger, fullback, has got to be on his way. Get on his touch. It's far too easy at times.
Milan have it back. Rafael Leao with a great little pirouette to get away from Zaire Emery, and he rode the challenge of Ugarte, but then he took it one challenge too far and ended up cleaning out Marquinhos, and that'll be a free kick for Paris Saint-Germain. But initially, Rafael Leao showed some great skill just inside the PSG half. 1-0 though, the Parisians lead. 5 to half-time. Danny Mills alongside me, Ian Danter tonight. Still no goals at St James's Park. 0-0 between Newcastle and Dortmund. Still no goals over on Talksport in our other commentary game tonight. Young boys holding Manchester City to a goalless draw so far on their plastic pitch.
I told you, it's not easy to play on that pitch.
You did indeed.
Everyone thinks, City go there and dominate. It's a huge advantage playing on that surface, which is bizarre, isn't it? You can have it in internationals, you can have it in the Champions League, but you can't have it in League Two.
And Sutton United were the most recent to
Harrogate Town.
Get up in Harrogate Town. Of course, you know well. Up at Wetherby Road, they had to dig up the
and it's
pit, which was used by the community. That's the other thing people forget.
That's the biggest thing. A pitch that can be used 24/7 for a League Two team is absolutely vital because of what it creates in the community. It's not just about generating the money from that, but of course then the team have to go and train somewhere else as well, and all of a sudden you've got this white elephant. What you've been using 24/7, suddenly you use once a week, if that.
But as you say, it's all right to be used in Europe's premier club competition.
International football as well.
Indeed. Corner kick to Paris Saint-Germain as Thiaw was forced to put the ball behind. Wasn't given the easiest back pass to deal with. And it's a PSG corner on the right-hand side. Vitinha almost dummy to give it to Dembele, right-hand corner of the box. He still could. I mean, Rafael Leao's going to have to keep an eye on Ousmane Dembele. is still lurking around the right-hand corner of the penalty area, but Vitinha sent it into the near post, looking for Kolo Muani. Headed out as far as Ugarte, who tried an ambitious shot from distance. And
Catch it!
Magnon elected to punch, as you heard from Danny Mills. My learned colleague decided that he should have done something entirely different there, the Milan goalkeeper.
He was under no pressure. The ball was... The volley had bounced, didn't it? It was a... Why would you not catch it?
Ball given away by Milan. Mbappe looks to reach Kolo Muani at the edge of the area. Shot deflected over by Malik Thiaw, and it's another corner to Paris Saint-Germain.
See, if that goes in, Dan, so I'm going back to my goalkeeper. Now, why have you punched that ball out?
Yeah.
Because that's what's led to giving away possession and giving PSG. It was an easy catch. It wasn't a shot. It was very, very easy to just take the ball in. He punched it with two hands. Oh, just catch it. You've got gloves on. Sticky gloves at that as well.
Third corner of the game for Paris Saint-Germain, who lead by a goal to nil. Into the near post. It's headed out by Giroud. He might pick up the loose ball here and charge towards halfway. He's clipped. And that'll be a yellow card. Is that Dembele who made that challenge? I think it was. As Giroud was powering towards the halfway line. So another yellow card issued by the Slovenian referee. This time it goes to Ousmane Dembele.
Yeah, it's blatant, wasn't it?
One for the team.
Well, to be fair, though, he was chasing Giroud. He probably could have stayed on his feet, give him another 2 or 3 yards and still got back and tackled him. It's a bit of a mismatch in terms of pace, isn't it?
Ball's up at the halfway line, but PSG win it back. Clip down the left-hand side, but Mbappe clearly offside, ahead of Tomori. So it's a free kick to Milan, who have made it 20 Champions League campaigns, having qualified this year. They're still 3 behind Juve, who've got 23. That's the Italian record for Champions League participations.
Yeah, I've never lost to AC Milan, don't.
Have you not?
No, never.
How many times have you played them?
Twice. Oh.
I was waiting for you to say I haven't played them.
Just the twice.
I mean, I haven't lost to AC Milan, but then I've never had the pleasure. Here is Musa for AC Milan, just shy of the halfway line. Finds Pulisic, who had a bright opening, but it's been a bit quiet for him in the last 20 minutes or so, the American.
Yeah, he's been starved of possession since they scored, haven't they, really? They need to get him and Rafael on the ball and do what they were doing early on, which is just pick the ball up, turn and start running, committing defenders, which is exactly what Mbappe did.
Malik Thiaw looks to lob it down the left-hand side for Rafael Leao. Early ball into the box, 3 in the area. Pulisic on the far stick, but it's kept away from him by Hernandez. But it is a corner kick to AC Milan as we tick round towards the last knockings of the first half. Heading towards added time. 1-0 to PSG, but a corner to Milan.
Yeah, Captain America didn't really fancy the head at the back post, did he?
No, not quite the super soldier at that point, Christian Pulisic, but he's gone across to the right-hand side to take this corner as we move into 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. It's taken by Pulisic. Up go the heads, flicked out to the edge of the area. There's a Paris Saint-Germain player that's gone down, injured. Lucas Hernandez was fouled. That's a free kick to Paris Saint-Germain. And Borussia Dortmund have taken the lead at St James's Park. In this group, remember, Dortmund, who got a 0-0 draw in Milan and lost to Paris Saint-Germain, so only 1 point. But they lead, pending a VAR check, at St James's Park over Newcastle to suck all the atmosphere, I imagine, out of the stadium, Danny Mills.
Yeah, just having a quick look at it on our little monitor. I mean, there's half a foul way back up the pitch, and Anthony Gordon, he gets his shirt tugged. The referee seems to let that one go, and then sort of the next challenge is okay. I don't think they'll overturn that.
It's a lovely finish in the end.
Oh, it is.
Felix and Mecha.
I don't think there's enough to say that really affected the play.
So 1-0 to PSG here, 1-0 to Dortmund at St James Park. That's how Group F is shaping up tonight. We've played a minute of the minimum 2 that have been added on by the referee. And PSG in possession with Achraf Hakimi. Once up Borussia Dortmund, looking for Mbappe, who goes down somewhat theatrically just inside the area right-hand side, under pressure from Thiaw, and the referee waves play on. Maybe one last chance for Milan to bring the ball forward. Giroud tucks it out to the left-hand side for Theo Hernandez, who plays an early ball into the box, looking for the run of Pulisic, but the giant frame of Donnarumma just plucks it out of the sky, bowls it out. It's played in field for Zaire Emery, and that signals the end of the first half as the referee blows the whistle and Paris Saint-Germain lead. They weren't particularly convincing, the Parisians, in the first half, particularly in the early stages, but when you've got Kylian Mbappe out there, anything can happen. And just after the half hour, Warren Zaire Emery rode a couple of challenges on halfway, fed Mbappe, Tomori backpedaling, allowed the space for Mbappe to unleash a low drive from the edge of the area that left Manuel a spectator in the Milan goal. It's a decent start from the Italian side, who forced a few openings in the first few minutes of the match. But Stefano Pioli will have lots to say to his players to try and get them up for the second half, because, Danny Mills, at the break, it is Paris Saint-Germain 1, AC Milan 0.
Yeah, one moment of brilliance from Kylian Mbappe, who's been relatively quiet in the game apart from that, but we know that's what he can do. AC Milan, after the first 2 or 3 minutes, bossed the first half, I think. Caused problems, created chances, couldn't quite get the goal, and a moment, a lapse in concentration. You've got to go and defend better against Kylian Mbappe. You have to engage him outside the penalty area before he gets into it. They did it, and then after that, the game became a lot more even, I would say. But it's just that one moment of brilliance so far from Kylian Mbappe.
And it was brilliance. Certainly Zaire Emery deserves the credit for the assist for riding the challenges, but you were talking about it during the first half that, you know, you want to see these star players show a little bit more. He didn't have to show for it, but once he got the ball at his feet, he knew exactly what to do with it.
And he's always going to be dangerous in those situations. But PSG have been exactly really what we expected. Team of individuals, still not convinced there's a real definitive way that they're going to play, or a pattern that they want to stick to. It seems a lot of the time it's give it to, obviously, Mbappe, go and let him do his thing. Give it to Dembele, let him go and do his thing. Apart from that, there's no real proper build-up plan, and I think that only takes you so far.
So it's 1-0 to PSG at the break here on Talksport 2. We'll bring you full second half commentary on that game with myself, Ian Danta, and Danny Mills. It is half-time at St James Park as well. Newcastle 0, Borussia Dortmund 1. Mecha with the goal for Dortmund late on in the first half. Manchester City a goalless in Switzerland against Young Boys in the Talksport commentary. That's also reached half-time. And Stoke 0, Leeds 0 is half-time in the Championship. Remember, Celtic 2-1 up against Atletico Madrid in the game they really have to win in their Champions League group. And coming shortly, you'll hear from Jurgen Klopp with Liverpool playing in the Europa League tomorrow, and Brighton taking on beleaguered Ajax. You'll hear from Roberto De Zerbi in a few moments here on Talksport 2 with a half-time score: Paris Saint-Germain 1, AC Milan 0.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the EFL.
Hi everyone, it's Sophia. Have you seen the new iPhone 15 Pro? I think you're guaranteed to fall in love like never before. It has a stunning new titanium design that feels light and looks fantastic, and the most pro iPhone camera system yet. Plus, at Vodafone, iPhone 15 Pro comes with the UK's best buyback price guarantee, guaranteeing the buyback price when you upgrade next year. Vodafone.
Must trade in good working condition iPhone 15 series and upgrade from September to 31st October 2024. Checks and terms apply. Verify at vodafone.co.uk/buyback.
At Kia, we have an electric car perfect for you and your lifestyle. From fully electric SUVs built for adventure to family favourites full of smart technology, or the ideal blend of style and versatility for the city. Choose your perfect car from our electric range, including our new 7-seater SUV, the Kia EV9, the award-winning crossover EV6, and Car by a Car of the Year, the Nero EV. Take the lead. Drive electric. Search Drive Electric with Kia today.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Paint your walls a shade that'll get your neighbours staring. At Wickes, get Dulux Standard 2.5 litre coloured emulsion. Was £21, now £15. Be house proud with Wickes. Terms apply.
Much like you, I've got a lot to complain about. Like open-toe sandals. Who thought that was a good idea? Who wants to look at toes? Adults who drink squash. Listen, you're a fully grown person. But I just got my Sky broadband and I've got no complaints.
Once again, Sky had the lowest number of complaints made to Ofcom for fixed-line broadband. To find out more, visit ofcom.org.uk. We're happy because you're happy.
Oh, hang on, though. Noisy eaters. They're annoying.
Sky. Believe in better.
This Halloween is also Movember Deadline Day.
Double, double, top lip trouble.
And the last chance to make sure your face is fuzz-free for the new Mo growing season.
Out, damned bristles, beard and stubble.
Listen to the Sports Bar as the Talksport Tash team come together for a live shave-off.
Something whiskery this way comes.
Movember Deadline Day.
Next Tuesday on Talksport.
The moustache is calling. Raise funds, save lives. Sign up now at Movember.com.
The Social with Adi Oladipo and Rory Jennings. Tomorrow afternoon from 3 on Talksport 2. Outspoken opinions and decisive debate following all the action.
We talk about football in a bipartisan and educated way. Well, I do at least.
I try.
News, views, fun and football fixtures.
It's not just football though. Bit of boxing, bit of horse racing, even a bit of rugby.
And it's a try!
And some phenomenal guests.
If you can't get in this squad after showing the form he showed, I don't think it looks too good for him.
This is the place to be.
It's Addy and Rory. It's The Social on Talksport 2.
What a goal! The Social. Tomorrow afternoon from 3.
It just works, doesn't it? On Talksport 2.
Right, pay attention everybody. Saturday equals a triple stack of unquenchable live football on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Swipe right on the app for Chelsea versus Brentford or hear it on TalkSport. Swipe left on the app for Leeds versus Huddersfield on TalkSport 2. Kick-off 12:30.
Oh, what a goal!
Bournemouth versus Burnley. Premier League exclusive that's not on the telly, Eddie. It's on TalkSport 2. Kick-off 3 p.m.
It's just fantastic.
Saturday equals a glorious game day goal fest on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Carry on.
On DAB+, online, via the TalkSport app and on your smart speaker.
Oh, what a finish! The Champions League live on TalkSport 2.
Ian Danter and Danny Mills with you on TalkSport 2 in the Champions League. The halftime score, PSG 1, AC Milan 0. Kylian Mbappe with the opening goal of the game on around 32 minutes. We'll bring you full second half commentary of that. As you've heard, Borussia Dortmund lead at half-time in this group's other game at Newcastle. Celtic 2, Atletico Madrid 1 is a half-time score. I can tell you that Rotherham have just taken the lead in the second half in the Championship at home to Coventry. Veteran defender Lee Peltier putting the Millers ahead at the New York Stadium. So you're up to date here on TalkSport 2. It's Europa League and Europa Conference League action tomorrow night involving British clubs. And for a team with a trophy cabinet containing 6 European Cups or Champions Leagues, maybe competing for the Europa League may not seem to have been top of Jurgen Klopp's priority list at the start of the season. Well, the Liverpool manager spoke to the media yesterday and said there's a huge desire amongst the squad to lift the Europa League trophy.
It's now not that I think we play Toulouse at home, so we have to win, that we can lose at Toulouse or whatever, these kind of things. We want to win the football games. So, and that's the next the next opportunity we have. That would bring us to 9 points and would keep Toulouse on 4 points. That's all clear. But that, knowing that changed nothing. We have to play to our best. We will make a few changes, not too many maybe. We will see. But we have to make sure that we are really ready for the competition. And the boys so far showed really that we are ready for the competition. And that's what I want to see. And obviously we hope it will go long in this competition. For that we have to make all the decisive steps, and tomorrow night is a very big one.
So Liverpool are playing Toulouse at Anfield tomorrow night in the Europa League.
They're playing Toulouse, not playing to win.
We're
here all night.
Meanwhile, Brighton and Hove Albion are still looking for their first ever win in Europe. They're in the Europa League too, against beleaguered Ajax. Perhaps, fortunately for Brighton, Ajax are, if you weren't aware, in the middle of their longest ever winless slump. Sacked their manager. They last won 9 games ago. You might remember those horrific scenes. There was a riot at the Ajax Stadium when Feyenoord were winning 3-0 there in a league game just over a month ago. Brighton boss Roberto De Zerbi described the match against Ajax as a must-win for both sides.
It's difficult to analyze Ajax because they are spending not a very good moment, but they are still Ajax. The history of Ajax is incredible, unbelievable, and we respect a lot of them. But we are Brighton, and when we play in a good way, what we are able to do, I think we have the chance to win the game.
So Brighton against Ajax tomorrow in the Europa League. Elsewhere in the Europa Conference League, only Newcastle have scored more goals than Aston Villa have in the Premier League so far. And the former Villa striker Gabby Agbonlahor was full of praise for his old team's attacking instincts when he was on Talksport Drive earlier this evening.
Just entertaining football. It's attacking. It's risky football that the fans want to see. It's no sitting behind the ball. It's going and punishing teams. You know, look at Ollie Watkins in the form of his life. McGinn, solid. Douglas Luiz scoring goals. Diaby sharp.
Yeah, Gabby Agbonlahor full of praise, as you might expect, for his old club, Aston Villa. They take on AZ Alkmaar tomorrow night in the Europa Conference League. That is a 5:45 kickoff. Our commentary game on TalkSport tomorrow from the Europa League is West Ham's trip to Piraeus to take on Olympiacos. That's a 5:45 kickoff. Alex Crook will be your commentator. And just to remind you about what else we've got coming up in terms of live football across our network. On Friday night, you've got a choice of commentary. Palace against Spurs in the Premier League. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff on TalkSport. And the Women's Nation League takes centre stage here on TalkSport 2 on Friday. Serena Wiegmann's England taking on Belgium in that tournament. That's a 7:45 kickoff. Danny Mills, a few thoughts on Ange Postecoglou, who, if they get the win on Friday at Palace, that means he'd have won all 3 league games. He could be up for Manager of the Month again. This guy's doing pretty extraordinary things in the short term at Spurs, isn't he?
I think he's come in, bit of a disciplinarian. We know that, no nonsense. He's just kept it simple. And it's just said to the players, this is what I expect. Maddison, I think, has been a fantastic piece of recruitment. I'm not sure that was his recruitment. In all honesty, I think, looked like he was going there anyhow. But the way that they're playing, they're organised. They work hard. They've always had some talented individuals. We know that. But they've got a definite way of playing now. And like I said, sometimes simplifying it, making the messages simple for the players is the way forward.
Maddison was the marquee signing, but it's some of the more understated signings that have caught my eye. Like the goalkeeper, Vicario. You've also got Van der Ven, a centre-half, who looks to have adapted very quickly to the rough and tumble of the English game.
It goes back to recruitment is everything. It's an old adage, but generally the team with the best players wins the league.
Mm-hmm.
Team with the most money has the best players. More often than not, that's the case. Or there or thereabouts. There is always the exception to the rule, and people always throw Leicester and teams like that. Yeah, it happens once in a blue moon. But so he's brought in good players. It's not always about being the best players. It's about fitting them into a team. And that's what he's done. He's looked at where are the weaknesses in the team. Right, okay, I've identified that. Now, who am I going to use to fill that gap? And as much as people don't like Mourinho and sometimes the way that he plays, that's what he was exceptional at. If you asked Mourinho, if you gave him all the money in the world and said build a team, he would build a team. Did it at Chelsea first time around? Did it at Inter? The team that won the Champions League at Inter was a jigsaw puzzle that he pieced together. Hand selected every single one. And I think, Postecoglou's identified the problems, fixed them, and he's not asking the players to do anything that they can't do. Go out there, play to your strengths and work hard. You suddenly win a few games, get a bit of confidence, and they're absolutely flying.
Palace Spurs live on TalkSport in the Premier League, an exclusive commentary Friday evening from 7 p.m, kickoff at 8. And game day, Saturday across the TalkSport network. We have 3 games for you, live and exclusive. From 11 o'clock on TalkSport, Reshbin Chowdhury and the team, all the build-up to a West London derby, Chelsea against Brentford at Stamford Bridge. That kicks off at 12:30. Kicking off at the same time on TalkSport 2 is a West Yorkshire derby. Leeds United against Huddersfield. Leeds currently 0-0 at Stoke City at half-time. Preston have just equalised at home to Southampton. Milutin Usmajic has equalised for the Lily Whites at Deepdale. And just going back to Saturday, I mentioned Leeds Huddersfield at 12:30 here on Talksport 2. And we'll follow that with Bournemouth against Burnley. Two of the bottom three meet at the Vitality. I'll be there with Alvin Martin for full commentary of that game. And Mr. Iraola, the Bournemouth manager, is leading the odds for the next manager to leave his post. It's not a market I like.
It's a huge game for both teams, isn't it? You know, it's going to be a massive shot in the arm if one of those sides can get a win.
Well,
I'm putting money on a draw.
Yeah, well, it may well be. We'll find out live and exclusive on
0-0 dance.
Talksport 2.
0-0 dance is going to be an absolute ball fest.
Thanks very much.
But you know what will happen now? Now I've said that, it'll be 3 each.
Well,
and it'll be a fantastic listen no matter what.
Thank you very much. That's very kind. The players are back out at the Parc des Princes, and AC Milan have made a change ahead of the start of the second half. And I guess it's no great surprise, given that he's on a yellow card that he got very early in the piece. Malik Thiaw has been taken off, and the captain, David Calabria, has come on to replace him. A one-club man since 2006, made over 200 appearances. He's on for AC Milan. And we're back underway with AC Milan in all white, playing from right to left as we look at the Parc des Princes. I'll run you through the lineups in just a moment. Kalulu's going to go to centre half, I think, Danny Mills, with Calabria out there at right back. He's just going to move one in field. So it'll be for Paris Saint-Germain, Donnarumma in goal, Hakimi, Marquinhos, Skriniar, Lucas Hernandez at the back, Zaire Emery, Ugarte and Vitinha in midfield, Dembele, Muani and the goal scorer Mbappe up front. For AC Milan, Magnan the keeper, Calabria, Kalulu, Tomori and Theo Hernandez at the back, Musa, Krunic and Reinders in midfield, Pulisic, Giroud and Leao in attack. And the ball is at the back with Fikayo Tomori. Long ball over the top, looking for the run of Reinders. Out came the goalkeeper. It's heading back towards goal by Giroud. Cleared away by Marquinhos. But AC Milan have it again, right-hand side of the area. Pulled back by Pulisic, but couldn't find one of three shirts inside the box. And Paris Saint-Germain clear their lines, but that was a nervy moment at the back for Paris Saint-Germain, 1-0.
Initially then, when Donnarumma come charging out, I thought he was going to catch it. He put his hands up, didn't he? Then he, very last second, pulled them down.
He suddenly realised where he was in relation to the 18-yard line.
He came out, he went, oh, no, head it. It wasn't a great header. Giroud couldn't quite get enough power to get it over Marquinhos. And then in the end, Pulisic's cross was very disappointing.
Long throw for AC Milan on the right-hand side, 10 yards from the corner flag, hurled in by Pulisic. It's cleared away, but Kalulu will tidy up, and Musa there as well. Gets collided into by Ugarte. Brilliant challenge by the Uruguayan. And here come Paris Saint-Germain. Dembele into the area. 2-0. Swift counter-attack. Finished off with real style and quality by Ousmane Dembele. Hasn't scored before for Paris Saint-Germain. Moved here in August and opens his account with a beauty. And it's only 2 minutes gone in the second half. Paris Saint-Germain 2, AC Milan 0.
I just wonder if VAR are going to look at the potential foul from Ugarte on the halfway line. Can't quite see it. He clattered into somebody. It was poor from AC Milan. I think that's a foul. Whether they'll interject and they'll bring that back, but I think it's a foul. It's a moment. It's brilliance from Dembele when he gets the ball on that inside right channel, cuts in onto his left foot, places it into the far corner. It's a fantastic finish. You know, him and Mbappe, great individuals that they are. I mean, that's a blatant foul. That's a yellow card for a guy. Have a look. If you see this again, Dance, from that angle, is it enough to come back and overrule it, overturn the goal?
Well, the referee
sure.
was right on top of the incident.
It's a
they are checking.
I would say yes. Then, if they're looking at this with There you go, yeah.
Well, he's going to go and have a look at the monitor. He's been asked by the VAR officials in Lyon to go and take a look at the pitch side monitor.
Had to be. And it should be. Look, have a look at this, Dan. Look. I mean, that's a flat-on body check.
Musa is just cleaned out by Ugarte. And play continued, and Dembele rolled the ball into the back of the net for 2-0. But the referee is now taking a long, hard look. Meanwhile, Manchester City have gone ahead in Switzerland. Young Boys 0, Manchester City 1, Manuel Akanji. And the referee has decided to disallow the goal. And it will be a free kick instead to AC Milan. The goal is cancelled out. Dembele has not opened his account after all for PSG. It stays 1-0, and now AC Milan have a free kick in the centre circle.
And I think that's right. It's Ugarte on Musa. It's a blatant foul. Took a little bit longer than it needed to, realistically. I mean...
But that's a warning to AC Milan.
Yeah, they messed about with their own sort of set piece, their own long throw.
Now long ball over the top, might have Pulisic in behind, puts it across the face of goal. Giroud into the side netting. Why did Pulisic go for goal? The ball was played in over the top and Pulisic was in behind. But rather than strike it a goal as he went in on the right-hand side of the box, he tried to pull it across for his teammate Giroud, and by the time Giroud got to the ball, the angle was so tight he couldn't screw it back inside Donnarumma's right-hand post, and it went behind for a goal kick. Big chance for Milan to equalise.
Oh, it's just a long, hopeful ball over the top. I think Pulisic thought Hernandez was chasing him down. From somewhere, a sniper got him. He tripped over his own feet, didn't he? I'm not sure Pulisic was aware of that. He probably thought he was still under pressure. Panicked a little bit. And instead of letting the ball drop and then volleying it goalwards completely on his own, tried to square it, got it completely wrong.
That's a massive let-off
and gave
for PSG.
Giroud no chance at the far post.
Danny Mills alongside me, Ian Danta here on Talksport 2. 5 minutes gone in the second half. We've had the ball in the net at one end since the restart and a massive chance at the other, but it stays as it was at the break. Paris Saint-Germain 1, AC Milan 0. Ball's back with Donnarumma, PSG goalkeeper right in front of his goal line. Clips the ball out once again to Manuel Akanji.
But
to Achraf Hakimi.
You see there, Dance? It goes back to Donnarumma. You know that he's going to play that.
That's 3 or 4 times he's found Hakimi, yes.
So Musa's got to be on his way to cut that out or be on his touch. It's too easy sometimes.
Here is Yusuf Musa, who loses out on halfway, and it's brought in field by Zaire Emery, but it's won back once more by AC Milan, and then they give it up. And Vitinha fires it out to Mbappe, who's now got Calabria backpedaling. Trying to go on the outside for the moment of Calabria, who got a foot in, put it behind for a corner to PSG away to our left-hand side that they want to take quickly. And it is taken quickly. Finds Dembele inside the area, left-hand side. Checks onto his left foot. Save and tucked in on the rebound by Kolo Muani. Dembele saw his shot saved by the goalkeeper Manuel, but it came out to Randal Kolo Muani right in front of goal, 4 or 5 yards out. He could not miss. And it is now PSG 2, AC Milan 0.
I mean, AC Milan go to sleep. Absolutely appalling defending from the corner. They take a quick one. It's out to Dembele, just inside the 18-yard box. Cuts it up. Hits a shot. It's not a great shot. Goalkeeper spills it. But it's Tomori against 4 players, completely unmarked. It falls to Muani, simplest of tap-ins. But AC Milan, oh dearie me, woeful defending. They all went to sleep. I think there was 4 PSG players in the box, 9 AC Milan defenders, and they all fell asleep.
And the huge money capture from Eintracht Frankfurt cost PSG the best part of €100 million to bring Randal Kolo Muani to the Parc des Princes after 26 goals last season. puts PSG 2-0 up against Milan here on Talksport 2. Meantime, young boys of Switzerland have equalised. Meshak Elia makes it 1-1 against Manchester City over on Talksport in our other live commentary tonight. And here come PSG again. Dembele, who set up that second goal, has now just set up a corner by driving the ball against Theo Hernandez, and the confidence coursing through the veins of these PSG players now with that 2-goal advantage.
Milan have just lost their heads a little bit, lost a little bit of discipline. They've got to get it back. They've got to get back and just get a bit solid for the next 10-15 minutes, just regain a bit of composure.
Preston have turned it around, incidentally, against Southampton in the Championship. Brad Potts makes it Preston 2, Southampton 1. Preston no winning 5 for Ryan Lowe. Short corner again down the Paris Saint-Germain right. Dembele loses that. Vitinha whips the ball in. Oh, Magnon could have caught it, let it to punch one-handed. It's not quite clear yet. And eventually Rafael Leao will try and put his foot in it and wins a throw. But I've no idea why Mike Magnon came out to just outside his 6-yard box. It would have been easier to catch it than punch it, but punch it he did and almost put his team in trouble again. 2-0 Paris Saint-Germain.
Where does he think he's going to punch that? He's going to punch it sort of 10 yards max. I mean, just catch the ball sometimes. You know, you can use both hands. You've got gloves on. There's no excuse.
And those gloves are like flypaper nowadays, aren't they?
Unbelievable.
Ball's back with Gianluigi Donnarumma, the other goalkeeper out there tonight. He finds Marquinhos. What a ball. What a ball. Out to the far side, but Vitinha's first touch lets him down.
Had a touch like me.
But Mbappe was there to try and help him out, but there are enough white shirts for AC Milan back there to retrieve possession. But the Italians have got work to do here. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Remember, they haven't scored yet in the Champions League this season, drawing both games. But Paris Saint-Germain, as it stands, are going to move on to 6 points from their first 3 fixtures. Milan would stay on 2. Newcastle would be on 4 points because they're losing at the moment to Borussia Dortmund, who'd also be on 4. So this Group F would be incredibly tight if scores stay as they are through to full time.
9's normally enough, isn't it? 9 points is normally enough to get you out of the group stages.
Well, you say that. Birmingham once got 10 points in the Europa League and never made it through. Just our luck.
I said normally.
Normally, yeah, you're right.
And this is the Champions League, Dan. It's not, you know, proper European competition.
All right. Royal Antwerp 1, Porto 2. And the Portuguese side lead in Belgium elsewhere in the Champions League.
What were Birmingham doing in a...
Beating Arsenal in a final. That's what happened.
Is that when they got relegated?
Yes, it was. Same, yeah. Haven't been back since, and Birmingham at the moment 1-0 down to Hull City.
Sorry to remind.
Here's Rafael Leao for AC Milan. Strong cross on the left-hand side. Giroud couldn't direct the header goalwards. Really hit with such venom, that cross from inside the area by Rafael Leao. Didn't do any of his teammates any favours. Now, Zaire Emery, who set up the first goal, is charging forward. Mbappe to his left. Feeds him again, and Mbappe inside the area, steps inside Calabria, drives it against the goalkeeper, and a hurried clearance from AC Milan as Mbappe threatened to stretch PSG's lead still further.
Yeah, Milan are all over the place at the moment. They've got to get a grip of themselves. You know, they're trying too hard, they're way too open, not strong enough in midfield. And of course, Dembele just stays high and wide on one side, and Mbappe high and wide on the other, which means you're very susceptible to the counter-attack, and that's what's happening at the moment.
Celtic 2, Atletico Madrid 2. Former Chelsea striker Alvaro Morata equalises a second time for Atletico tonight at Parkhead. And it's 2-0 to PSG on Talksport 2. And that was straight at Mike Magnon from Kylian Mbappe. Thudded right into Magnon's chest from Kylian Mbappe, who scored the first. And he looks on now as the ball's back with his defenders. Marquinhos just ahead of the Paris Saint-Germain penalty area, guides it back to Donnarumma. he floats the ball up to halfway, this time a longer clearance, looking for Dembele. He tried to touch it inside for Colomboani. AC Milan trying to win the ball back. Musa heads the ball downfield, but there's nobody there in a white shirt to challenge Marquinhos, who picks up the loose ball, and he finds Lucas Hernandez out to the left-hand side. Mbappe shy of the halfway line. He elects to give it back to his left back. Vitinha, neat and tidy in midfield. Ball's back with Marquinhos once more. Now Achraf Hakimi looks for Dembele, who cuts in field from the right-hand touchline and finds Vitinha in the centre circle. Plays it out to the right wing. Colomboani looks menacing as he moves into the area right-hand side. Leaves it down the right-hand side for Vitinha. Hakimi there in support as well. But it's worked back a little further to Zaire Emery. Now into the centre of the half and Ugarte. Zaire Emery takes over once more. Patient build-up from Paris Saint-Germain. Plenty back for AC Milan, but they're just watching Paris Saint-Germain pass the ball around in front of them. Skriniar forced back into his own half by Giroud. Will roll it back to Donnarumma, and he'll clear first time right down the centre of the field, looking to get Hakimi away, who was onside, but Manuel comes out, elects to head it clear.
Thought he might catch that one 10 yards outside his area.
Not this time. Now he boots it left-footed downfield. Good clearance from Manuel, actually, but it won't find Rafael Leao. There's a Paris Saint-Germain player down. It's Colomboani, and a yellow card for a hefty challenge on Randal Colomboani by Fikayo Tomori.
I'd like to see this again, Dan, because if this is off the ball, I'm not sure what you get a yellow card for an incident off the ball.
Well, that's... I've just seen a replay. You have too, Danny Mills. That's inexplicable.
But it's either a red card or nothing.
Because it's an accidental arm in the face of Colomboani.
Yeah,
and Tomori doesn't know that Colomboani's right behind him. I'm sure he's not aware. He's not a deliberate
and it was about waist high, wasn't it? Because Moani was sort of falling over or bending down towards the ball.
No. Hard to fathom that one.
That's either has to be nothing, or the referee has to give a red card because he thinks it's violent conduct. So it can't be a yellow card.
There was a look of total bewilderment on the face of Fikayo Tomori as that yellow card was brandished.
Him and me both.
By the Slovenian referee. Meantime, Leipzig are 2-0 up on Red Star in the Champions League. Xavi Simons, the Dutch midfielder, makes it 2-0 to the Germans. Still Newcastle 0, Dortmund 1 in this group, Group F. Manchester City still being held 1-1 by Young Boys in the Talksport commentary right now. Pierre Kalulu's just had a yellow card for AC Milan for taking out Kylian Mbappe on the far side of the field. And the yellow cards are starting to build up for the visitors. Kalulu, Calabria, Tomori, Krunic on yellow cards. Ball hooked high in the air by Kalulu, but it wasn't a deliberate back pass, even though the goalkeeper Manuel plucked it out of the sky under pressure from Dembele.
I said at the start, didn't I, these two middle group games where you play back-to-back the same teams are decisive on where you finish in the group. Suddenly Newcastle were top, suddenly they're third, and next up they'll have Dortmund away.
In the fearsome Westfalenstadion. Here come AC Milan, driving the ball, Pulisic from the edge of the area, but straight into the hands of Donnarumma, who held on to it as well. Needed to, because there were one or two trying to follow up for AC Milan. Giroud was closest to it, but Donnarumma got both hands around the ball and made a comfortable save. Birmingham 0, Hull City 2. And Jaden Philogene, former Villa trainee, will have enjoyed that at St Andrews to put Hull City further clear in the Championship.
But it's bizarre, isn't it, when you look, PSG at the start, you think you're not doing particularly well so far in the Champions League, a little bit disappointing. They got battered against Newcastle, but suddenly now, if this result, I think, is going to stay the way it is, but if the Newcastle result stays the same as well, suddenly PSG top the group, one more win should be enough to see them through. And suddenly Newcastle, who thought, we had a great start to the Champions League, lose tonight, and they've got to go to Dortmund away.
Dembele, right-hand corner of the area for PSG, cuts in on his left, then checks back onto his right. Wastefully fires over the bar, wasn't really in control of the shot when he let it go. Wild swing with the right boot, and it goes way over the top.
I'm going to say he's left-footed, is he?
Well, he fancied his chances with his right foot.
That was the old Sabuto one, wasn't it? When you pushed the head down and the leg just came out and swung.
Striker. That was the game. Striker. Yeah, well, you pressed the head and it moved. That's what I had.
No, I see. I did little corner kickers on the Sabuto.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Little elastic band that we used to flick the head.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
To leather it.
My cousin had the floodlights as well.
Oh, he must have been rich.
Yeah, well.
Proper rich. I had 4 players that had been glued back together.
Oh, we all had those. Accidentally shutting them on your bedroom.
Accidental professional foul.
2-0 to PSG here on Talksport 2. With 64 minutes gone at the Parc des Princes. 1-0 to Dortmund at St James's Park. They played 62 minutes there. The ball's with AC Milan inside their own half of the field. Swung across to the left-hand side for Theo Hernandez. Leaves it for Rafael Leao. Needs some of his mercurial talent to shine through to give a chance to AC Milan to get something out of this game. Plymouth 3, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Ryan Hardy for Plymouth. Sheffield Wednesday's woes continue with no win in the Championship so far this season, and in danger of being cut adrift before the clocks go back. Meanwhile, Theo Hernandez for AC Milan plays it in field, driven out to the left-hand side for Musa. Comes in field from that left-hand side up to the edge of the area. Down went Pulisic under no real pressure, and Paris Saint-Germain can break. Dembele plays a 1-2 with Kolo Muani. Mbappe's calling for it far side of the area, and it comes, it's just beyond Kylian Mbappe. Even he's not quick enough to get on the end of that crossfield pass from Ousmane Dembele.
I think he was offside as well by the looks of it.
Yeah, he might well have been slightly ahead. You're right, Danny Mills. It ends up being a free kick to AC Milan. Stays 2-0 PSG.
But it's a loose pass in any case from Dembele. Just put it into the area, slide it into it, and Mbappe, if he's not offside, would have had a tap in, but the glass was overhit anyhow.
Now over the halfway line, Reinders gets away for a moment, plays it out to Rafael Leao, approaching the penalty area. Leao goes for goal. It's a weak drive, and Donnarumma had it covered. It went a good 4 or 5 yards wide of his left-hand post, and it's a goal kick to PSG, who lead 2-0 on Talksport 2. Danny Mills.
We know what he was trying to do, trying to cut in on that right-hand side, off the left, and bend it in the far corner, and scuffed it. Have I just seen on the monitor, though, Tonali's come on for Newcastle?
Yes, and Jacob Murphy's come on as well. I mean, so he's clearly been given clearance to play tonight, despite what Talksport understands to be an incoming 10-month ban for Sandro Tonali for betting breaches, but that is yet to be confirmed. So he is able to play this evening, and can he rescue it for Newcastle United?
It's going to be a really interesting one, isn't it, with that as well? Obviously, considering what happened to Ivan Toney, wasn't allowed even to train. I don't know who has jurisdiction over it. Obviously, that was dictated to by the FA, wasn't it? I don't know. Is it Italian? Is it FIFA? Is it a worldwide ban? Can the FA then step in as well? I'm not sure.
All very good questions, and I wish I could answer them for you.
Oh, I'm just here to pose the questions. I don't know any answers. I know nothing.
Ball is out on the left-hand side for AC Milan. It's with Theo Hernandez. 2-0 the score to PSG. Ball's up to the halfway line. Oh, that's a horrible collision between two players who both stayed down. Pulisic was caught. I'm trying to see who the PSG player was that caught him. Erling Haaland has just scored a penalty to put Manchester City back in front on Talksport. 2-1 Manchester City lead.
So what was my prediction when we were doing the betting at the
I think you
start?
said both teams to score and Manchester City to win.
Okay. I think it was quite good odds on that, wasn't there?
Reasonable.
Sevens or something like that, was it?
Reasonable.
Yeah.
And it's 2-1 to Manchester City. That's live on Talksport
Be gamble aware. Only bet what you can afford.
Absolutely.
When the fun stop and all that nonsense.
BeGambleAware.org is the website you should always use. Meantime, back underway here. There are changes afoot for Paris Saint-Germain. Lee Kang-in's going to be on the moment. Giroud trying to lob Donnarumma from 30 yards out as the ball just dropped to him. Caught it on the half volley, but it again was a comfortable save for Gianluigi Donnarumma, getting back to his own goal line, and it stays 2-0 PSG. Out to the left-hand side, and Lucas Hernandez, who was caught a little earlier. Back it goes to Donnarumma. Takes a heavy touch, just keeps it away from Giroud as he trots outside his own penalty area. Now Kolo Muani almost released Mbappe down the left-hand side, but the ball just thumped downfield. And it's collected by Milan Skriniar. Finds Vitinha. Out to the left-hand side, driven downfield, looking for Kolo Muani, who almost got the better of Kalulu, but then just pulled on his shoulder as Kalulu, now playing at centre-half of Milan, tried to turn. Free kick to AC Milan, but only 20 minutes left for AC Milan to do something about this 2-0 scoreline. And Fabian Ruiz is coming on for Manuel Ugarte for a change for Paris Saint-Germain, joined last year, having played at Napoli, and the first South Korean ever to play for Paris Saint-Germain. Lee Kang-in is also coming on. Had a couple of years at Mallorca, hasn't scored yet for his new club, and he comes on for Ousmane Dembele. So a double change for Luis Enrique, and it is 2-0 to PSG as Porto go 3-1 up at Royal Antwerp. Evan Nilsson with that third goal, closing in on 3 points there, the Portuguese. And at the Parc des Princes, it looks like PSG are going to move on to 6 and wipe out the disappointing memories of that 4-1 humbling at St James's Park. A reminder that Newcastle at St James's Park right now, still a goal down to Borussia Dortmund, as Lee comes forward for the first time, finds Mbappe inside the area, has the ball just taken off his toe at the vital moment by Tomori, but he just knocks it behind. It's a corner kick to Paris Saint-Germain, away to our right-hand side. 2-0 they lead.
Just lost an awful lot of confidence, haven't they, at the moment? By the way, I've just seen Erling Haaland's penalty. Very, very fortunate. Goalkeeper went the right way, got an arm to it, almost sort of dived under the ball. Just saw his dad Alfie in the stand blowing his cheeks out, and a little wry smile from him. I think he knows that he got away with one there.
They all count, as they say.
Yeah, exactly. It's not how, it's how many.
So corner kick for Vitinha for PSG into the near post. Might drop on the 6-yard line. Giroud had the ball stuck under his feet, but he still managed to get it clear. But it's won back. Brilliant header by Lee, the substitute, to stop any potential counter-attack for the Italians. And back it goes to the halfway line. It's played up to the midfielder Zaire Emery. Now Lee Kang-in runs into Tomori. Neat touch on halfway from Giroud, and it sets Reinders away. Now Rafael Leao picks it up for Milan, left-hand corner of the box. Got Marquinhos backpedaling, thinks about getting to the byline and tries to pull it across, and it came off him last of all. As it hit Marquinhos, rebounded onto Rafael Leao, and merely went behind for a PSG goal kick. 2-0 PSG lead. Danny Mills.
Never really looked comfortable on his left foot, did he? was always looking to try and cut inside. Marquinhos just good defending, stood his ground, forced him down the outside. He had really nowhere to go.
So a goal kick for Donnarumma. Just flicks it to his left-hand side. For Skriniar out to the left-hand side, but Hernandez couldn't keep it in play. Milan have got to do something, and they've yet to make a change. Pioli's yet to go to his bench and find something to try and unlock the door here.
Well, you feel that they need a goal in the next 2 or 3 minutes, don't they? They need something to give themselves a little bit of a lift. Haven't really tested Donnarumma in this second half.
Here's Mbappe. Oh, he won't get hold of that. It was a poor passing field that didn't find him from Vitinha. But they still won it back anyway, PSG. Zaire Emery plays it to the right-hand side with Hakimi. Now Lee Kang in, picks it up midway point of the Milan half. Lovely ball down the right side of the area for Zaire Emery to run onto. Takes the defender with him. Then it's worked back by Lee to Hakimi, keeping play on this near side, the PSG right. Lee again plays a 1-2 with Hakimi. Holds it up, Zaire Emery joins in. Lovely triangular passing between those three individuals. And Julian Alvarez has made it 3-1 to Manchester City over on Talksport. Young Boys 1, Manchester City 3. Points are safe for Pep.
Wasn't that in our little accumulator at the beginning? I'm pretty sure it was. I think that was the one, wasn't it? 3-1 was what all the chat was about after I persuaded our betting expert that it was a difficult pitch to play on, and that I think Young Boys would cause City 1 or 2 problems.
Gianluigi Donnarumma's
hang on a minute. There's a goal review on that on the little 8 monitors we got in here in front of us.
Okay, well, we'll see whether that is indeed 3-1.
Jack Grealish handball.
The referee review area is being utilised over in Switzerland, and it looks like that goal is going to be cancelled. It is, so it's still just 2-1 to Manchester City. So Danny Mills' accumulator bet has been ruined.
You all thought you won a lot of money. There's still 10-15 minutes to go. You might do.
Quarter of an hour to go at the Parc des Princes. PSG 2, AC Milan 0. Theo Hernandez finds Rafael Leao. He's caught off the ball by Lee, and that'll be a free kick to AC Milan, who need a spark from somewhere.
Disappointed, haven't they, second half?
Yeah.
I think second goal early on, it almost killed them.
Well, here comes a double change.
But then when the second goal really did go in, it really did cause them problems, and they've looked very, very flat since then.
Well, Rada Krunic, the Bosnian, has gone off, and a former PSG Academy graduate born in Paris, Yassine Adli, is coming on. And Tommaso Pogba is coming on for Musa for another midfield change. So they're not striker changes, really. Midfield changes for Stefano Pioli.
Maybe change it, thinking about players for the weekend, perhaps. Doesn't really look like they're going to get back into this game, let alone go on and score 3 and win it.
Well, they've got a big game against the champions Napoli at the weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
At AC Milan. But here's Pulisic making a strong run in field to the centre of the half. Lovely ball inside the fullback. Leao inside the box, drives it into the near post, and Donnarumma touches it behind for a corner kick to AC Milan.
Needs to work on his left foot. Simple as that. It's a great ball. Splits the defence. He needs to strike it to corner. He needs to strike it with his left foot. But because he then sort of opens his body up, trying to bend it with his right foot, that allows the defender to get back in and make the tackle. It just, you talk about split seconds, that half a second extra that it takes to get on his right foot without taking the shot. That's why he can't get the shot away cleanly.
Theo Hernandez with the corner for Milan, headed clear for PSG by Marquinhos. Goes back to the halfway line. And it's sent wide by Kalulu. Goes out to the right wing, Pulisic. Elects to work the ball in field. Here's Tomori, centre of the PSG half. Reinders trying to turn away from Lee. Went to ground, both players, but it's kept alive by Tomori. Clips it down the left wing for the run of Theo Hernandez. Good ball into the box. Looks at the near post. for Pogba. It's not long on the field. He just couldn't control the header. Pulisic retrieves the loose ball on the far side of the field. That's better from AC Milan.
Yeah. Could it be too little too late? 11, 12 minutes to go.
Now run down the right-hand side. Player goes down. It was Adley who went down after he got a little shove in the back.
It's a risky one, you know.
And it was Zaire Emery who clashed with him. But it's not been given and not been reviewed.
If he'd have given that, I could understand it, Dan, couldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, probably a...
Or was he waiting for it,
well,
Yassin Adley?
Bit of both, but it's still a soft foul, but it still would have been a foul, I'd say.
Points are safe for Rotherham United against Coventry. Ollie Rathbone makes it Rotherham 2, Coventry 0 in stoppage time at the New York Stadium. That'll be a first win in 7 for the Millers. Rafael Leao wins a throw on the AC Milan left, level with the penalty area, the edge of the penalty area.
You just wonder, did Coventry miss their chance last season? So difficult to repeat it yet again, isn't it?
Well, they'll be in action next on Monday night against West Bromwich Albion in the Midlands derby. I'll be there for that. That's a Monday night game on Talksport 2. You're home with the EFL.
Are you working 10 days a week at the moment? You seem to be on every night, 2 or 3 times whenever I turn the radio on.
I do apologise.
No, I quite like it.
Here's Rafael Leao for AC Milan with 10 minutes to go.
I'm not complaining.
I should hope not. I thought you were my agent. Ball's out of play, being AC Milan corner kick away to the left-hand side.
If I am, I'm not getting paid very well for it.
Chance for Hernandez to get some dangerous delivery in here. Adley waits. Giroud in there, of course. Tomori up from the back. In it comes from Theo Hernandez to the far post. Headed towards goal by Giroud, but it's a good save low down by Donnarumma. Did well to generate some power with that header, Giroud.
Yeah, it's very difficult to score with the head more than 12 yards out. And that's exactly what it is. You've got to get those headers closer. He's going backwards as well. So all power is coming out of the header. He guides it goalwards rather than powers it.
Now up to the halfway line. It's brilliantly protected by Kolo Muani, but then a bit sloppy from Paris Saint-Germain, but equally sloppy from Rafael Leao to give the ball away. And here's Kolo Muani now bursting forward. Flicks it neatly into the path of Hakimi. Plays it across the edge of the area. Vitinha finds Mbappe! Off the post! Brilliant save! Brilliant save, Manuel, to stop it being 3-0. It looked inevitable that Mbappe was going to curl it into the bottom corner, but Magnon touched it onto the post, and it's a corner instead, 2-0.
Yet again, AC Milan giving the ball away. Architects of their own downfall almost. As it comes to Mbappe, rolls out to him, lovely pass. You're waiting for the net to bulge. It's a fabulous fingertip save onto the post from Magnon.
Change for Paris Saint-Germain, and off goes the scorer of the second goal, Rando Kolo Muani, and on in his place comes Gonzalo Ramos on loan from Benfica. He won the title there last year. He waits as Lee swings the corner kick in. Ramos nearly got on the end of that for his first touch to try and head it in, but in the end
Magnon caught one.
He did. He didn't punch for a change. Now Pulisic giving chase, trying to get Fabian Ruiz down the Milan right-hand side, but just couldn't control it. Stoke 1, Leeds 0. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff, so there's still about 10 minutes to play at the Bet365, but an own goal from Pascal Strike has given Stoke the lead in the Potteries.
Just can't get any consistency away from home leads, can they?
Yeah.
Home form's been really good.
But only 1 loss in 10, so the form has been pretty consistent for Daniel Farke.
At home they've been very, very good.
Yeah.
Away from home, that's where they haven't quite met the standards that he'll want. Although had to come back at the weekend as well.
Brilliantly too at Norwich.
Yeah, but you're not meant to do that every week, Dan. You can't keep going 2-0 down.
No, that's true. Now here's Rafael Leao bursting into the area for AC Milan, but too heavy a touch. That allows Donnarumma to come out and snatch the ball away and keep it at just 2-0.
But you know what I'm going to say again?
He needs to work on his left foot.
Yeah. You're coming in from that side. The defender's between you and the goal. keep the ball on your outside, which is your left foot, and have a shot. He's trying to manufacture it onto his right, and of course that makes it easier for the defender.
Danny Mills alongside me, Ian Danta here on Talksport 2. Into the last 6.5 minutes at the Parc des Princes. Paris Saint-Germain heading for a second win in the group stage. It's still Newcastle 0, Borussia Dortmund 1 at St James's Park. Manchester City 2-1 up at Young Boys. Lee Kangin is fouled on halfway. Great industry from the South Korean. Wins a free kick for PSG. Hernandez was the man who brought him down. Quickly taken free kick, and Fabian Ruiz picks it up. Mbappe flicks it out to the left-hand side for Lucas Hernandez. Vitinha infield for Mbappe with his back to play. Holds it up, keeps Tomori away from the ball. Then Hakimi plays it forward, neatly done. Ramos lays it off down the left-hand side. Vitinha looks to go back to the halfway line just to keep possession for Paris Saint-Germain as AC Milan just push a little further downfield. Zaire Emery has it now just over the halfway line for the hosts. Vitinha coming in field. It's just given away by PSG though. And Leao has it on halfway, bursts clear of a couple of challenges. Works inside, his man goes down, wants a free kick, nothing doing, says the referee. Atletico Madrid down to 10 men. It's 2-2 at Celtic Park. Rodrigo de Paul has had a second yellow card. 2 lemons make a strawberry, he's off. So Celtic have, 10 minutes or so, I would imagine, at Celtic Park to try and get a winner against 10 men. Here comes Vitinha for Paris Saint-Germain, looking for Gonzalo Ramos in the area. It's blocked out to Mbappe, left-hand corner of the box. A couple of step-overs from Mbappe, but he slows play down eventually and lets Vitinha take over. Now back in field for Fabian Ruiz. From the edge of the area, Achraf Hakimi tries a very ambitious effort, fully 30 yards out. Whistled way over the crossbar. Plymouth have beaten Sheffield Wednesday by 3-0 in the Championship. That's a first win in 5 for Stephen Schumacher's Plymouth Argyle at home park against a still winless Sheffield Wednesday. As Manuel, the Milan keeper, clears right-footed, flicked on by Giroud just over halfway, but Leao can't pick up the second ball. It's won back instead by Marquinhos. Hull City have won 2-0 at Birmingham in the Championship. That's their first win in 4 for the Tigers. Now Kylian Mbappe trying to slip Fabian Ruiz through at the edge of the area, but Manuel swiftly off his line to clear downfield for AC Milan. But there isn't really that sign of a concerted spell of pressure from AC Milan to try and get themselves even back within a goal of their hosts tonight.
And you're welcome to those that listen to me on the pre-game betting. Little accumulator at Manchester City. Erling Haaland just fired one into the top corner. Absolutely magnificent strike. City 3-1 up.
That's live on Talksport right now with Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce. Rotherham have beaten Coventry by 2-0. That's another team who've been waiting a long time for a win. First win in 7 for Rotherham United. That's 3 without a win for Coventry now after that 2-0 defeat. Still waiting for confirmation that Ipswich have won at Bristol City. They've been 1-0 up for long spells in that game as they try and cut that deficit to 5 points to Leicester City at the top of the Championship. Preston still 2-1 up on Southampton as well in England's second tier. 2-0 PSG, 2 minutes of normal time to go. And in fact, Southampton have just equalised at Preston through an own goal from Ched Evans. It's Preston 2, Southampton 2, deep in added time at Deepdale. Now here's Zaire Emery, great turn, right-hand side for Paris Saint-Germain, pulls it back to the edge of the box, driven in for number 3 by Lee Kangin. His first goal for Paris Saint-Germain, and it comes in the Champions League to wrap up the points against AC Milan. Great work again by Zaire Emery. The ball dropped at the edge of the area for the South Korean, and a crisp low finish into the bottom corner seals the win for the Parisians. PSG 3, Milan 0.
Yeah, really neat and tidy finish. Calm, composed, slots it into the corner. Again, AC Milan not helping themselves in any way, shape or form. It's really poor defending. It's slack, it's lacklustre. Too easy in the end, in all honesty. Shouldn't be unmarked. 15, 16 yards out from goal. Just slots it left foot right into the corner.
Now, Gonzalo Ramos, I'm pretty sure it's a dummy, as he pretended to shoot, or was it an air shot? But it ran beautifully for Lee Kang-in anyway, right at the edge of the area.
I'm going to go dummy, actually. Seeing the replay, I think that's definitely a dummy. He knows what he's doing.
Certainly set up his teammate a treat, and he obliged with a super finish. And that is 3-0, and that is good night in terms of the points, or any points for AC Milan. Tomori comes off with a resigned shrug. Simon Kjær is going to come on to replace him for these last few minutes.
Callum Wilson's just hit the joint of the post and the crossbar. St James's Park. A couple of minutes to go in that game. So unlucky.
Still 1-0 to Dortmund in that game. So we're into added time at the end of the 90. 4 minutes of minimum stoppage time to play at the Parc des Princes.
Second half's ended up being quite comfortable, hasn't it, for PSG?
And they want more. Hakimi coming forward down the right-hand side. Infield for Zaire Emery, who's under pressure from Theo Hernandez. Goes down, wants a free kick, nothing doing, says the referee. Rafael Leao still trying to work hard inside his own half. Now he's got space to scamper forward. He's got 4 players ahead of him. And he finds Theo Hernandez into the area left-hand side, tries to pull it across. And Fabian Ruiz got a foot in to turn it over the bar. And it ends up merely being a AC Milan corner. 3-0 PSG.
That first, well, the goal from Dembele that was disallowed for the foul. Since that point, Milan have really been on the back foot. They haven't really been in the game in the second half. Disappointing, because I thought, as we said in the first half, they were slightly the stronger team, although they went 1-0 down.
So they await the corner, Milan, to try and get a consolation goal in the second minute of added time. Theo Hernandez with the corner, headed away at the near post by the first defender, who was Hakimi. Comes back out to Theo Hernandez on the left-hand side. Picked up by Reinders. Now down the left-hand side, it's Pulisic joining in. And it's deflected out for a throw-in. It's finished 2-2 at Deepdale between Preston and Southampton. So that's 5 unbeaten now for the Saints under Russell Martin. Paris Saint-Germain have possession at the edge of their own penalty area. Chip forward to Vitinha. Great control as he brings it up the halfway line. Mbappe on his starting blocks to his left. Picks it up now, Mbappe. Left-hand corner of the area. Calabria backpedaling. Tries to pull it back to Vitinha at the edge of the area. And it's whacked clear by AC Milan into the referee on his chest. And he has to blow the whistle and say, sorry, I'm not meant to touch it. I've just started a drop ball.
It's handball from the referee. Got to move your feet quicker than that. I mean, his hand's close to his body. He's put his arm across himself. Bit of thigh, bit of arm. But obviously the referee's not had to touch it with any part of his body.
Nordi Mukiele's going to come on. The right-back who joined PSG last year after 4 years at Leipzig. So it's going to be a straight swap for Achraf Hakimi as we go into the last knockings of this game.
I think that's called killing time.
Yep. So we've got a few seconds out there of Champions League experience. Nordi Mukiele. And the ball's back in the arms of Mike Maignan, the Milan goalkeeper. Clears long downfield. Pulisic still working hard at giving chase. Kept it in play at the dead ball line, but just couldn't control it, and it just trickled harmlessly behind from the...
Just needed to be a bit stronger, didn't he?
Yeah.
That sort of fell over looking for a foul.
Still full of running, though.
Yeah, but...
Right at the end of the game, Pulisic. And there's a bit of a disagreement here between Skriniar and Giroud and Hernandez at the edge of the penalty area, whilst PSG prepare a goal kick that Donnarumma's going to leave for Skriniar to take out to the left-hand side. Now Lucas Hernandez just lobs the ball over the defender. Milan win it back, only temporarily. Skriniar again plays the ball up to halfway, but AC Milan can't control it. It just drifts frustratingly out of play once again for the Italian side, who will want and need to be better at the San Siro when they return to face PSG there in 2 or 3 weeks' time, Danny Mills.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, PSG have won this game. They haven't been brilliant. Milan were better in the first half, although that one moment from Mbappe caused them the damage. In the second half, I have to say, Milan have really got going. The problems that they were causing early on with layout.
Well, there goes the full-time whistle. PSG have recovered from the nightmare of Newcastle and got themselves a second victory in the group stage to take control of Group F. And it was a comfortable 3-0 win in the end over an AC Milan side who find themselves under pressure, yet to score in the Champions League this season. Just 2 points to their name after 3 games. They will welcome PSG back to the San Siro on the next match day in the Champions League, desperate to overturn this result and keep themselves in the group. And with Newcastle currently behind at home to Borussia Dortmund, it tightens up Group F considerably with this 3-0 win for the Parisians. Danny Mills.
Oh, definitely. You know, suddenly Paris topped the group, Dortmund into second place, Newcastle have got to go away to Dortmund next. It's going to be a very, very difficult game for them. And suddenly Milan, they're going to have to pull off almost a miracle. You know, you'd have to say they need a big result in the San Siro. Paris win that, then Milan, you ain't going to qualify. That would be my suggestion. But again, as I said, these 2 middle games, back-to-back games against the same opposition, really sort the group out, and that looks exactly what's going to happen.
Well, it was comfortable in the end for Paris Saint-Germain. Kylian Mbappe got things going with a goal in the first half. 2 further goals after the restart, including a first goal for PSG for the South Korean Lee Kang-in. I can tell you Newcastle have just had a header off the crossbar, or a shot off the crossbar. I think it was Anthony Gordon, was it, with an effort that deflected onto the crossbar and away. But Randal Kolo Muani got the second for PSG. Lee Kang-in with the third. And AC Milan just had no answer.
No, I think poor defending from AC Milan went to sleep for the corner. You know, allowed Dembele to have a simple shot and completely unmarked at the far post. Scandalous defending. You know, as a coach, the manager be absolutely fuming with that. And that kills the game off, doesn't it?
The full-time whistle's gone at St James's Park. And so Borussia Dortmund, they have 4 points. They join Newcastle on 4. Paris Saint-Germain, who were being almost, dare I say, written off after they lost 4-1 on Tyneside, now top the group, Danny Mills. And Mbappe and co, and Luis Enrique, their coach, be feeling an awful lot happier about life right now.
Yeah, definitely. They'll be looking at it thinking, right, OK, 1 more win is probably enough. They'll back themselves to get that. I mean, Milan have got to score. You know, simple as that. Yeah. Pulisic looked bright for the first 30 minutes or so. Raphael looked bright. Got to work on his left foot. Kept trying to come in on the right. It was never going to happen for him in that situation. So, I mean, Newcastle still in with a fantastic chance. Real difficult game for them next up away to Dortmund. But this result really has put PSG in the box seat for qualification.
Danny, thanks as always.
Absolute
for
pleasure.
being part of the team tonight on Talksport 2. Next up on Talksport 2, it's an episode of the Darts Show podcast. There's been a lot of darts action in the